Well, how do you do, buckaroos? This is Joe Layton from Cowboys Magazine, and I'm very pleased today to be talking again with Crystal Echohawk, who is the founder and executive director of IllumiNative. And Crystal, I guess the first question to ask you is, when you were approached to be an advisor for the English, did you have any trepidation? Did you think, okay, this is going to be some more Hollywood hokum about the white lady hanging out with the Indian on the plains?
Well, Joe, thanks for having me. And initially, yes, actually, I think when we first got the call from Amazon, I mean, I was blown away that there was going to be representation of my tribe, the Pawnee people. The last time we had major representation was with Dances with Wolves. So you could have knocked me over with a feather. I mean, I think that's always the concern, right? Historically, what Hollywood has normally done is just made Native peoples one-dimensional sort of backdrops, right, to white characters, to sort of be that sort of sidekick or whatever to facilitate their sort of white savior journey. But was very quickly really excited and pleased because, one, we just have enjoyed such a great partnership with Amazon over the last 3 years. So was so excited that they reached out and that the writer director, Hugo, reached out and was really open. And just right away, we knew that this was something really special and different, that they were so open to all of our feedback. We reviewed all the scripts. We gave them a lot of notes about what we felt like they weren't getting right, things that they really needed to get vetted past Pawnee people and Cheyenne people, but also opportunities to kind of really like build out the characters even more, to really ensure that, the characters were multidimensional, multifaceted, and really looking at how opportunities to kind of even flesh out the story more. And right from the get-go, they were so open to that feedback and to our recommendation that they actually hired like an entire Pawnee Cheyenne consulting team. So I can't say enough about Hugo, the production company, but also Amazon and their willingness to really do it right and to ensure that there was really authentic and quality representation.
How much did it please you to realize right from the start that you're going to be dealing here with one badass Pawnee lead character?
I mean, it was incredible. What was really emotional, I was kind of joking, not joking about, the last time we had representation with Dances with Wolves, but what really made this very emotional, I think for me, very personally, is that, Eli is, he's a Pawnee Scout, and my great-great-grandfather, from who we got our family name, Echohawk, was a Pawnee Scout. And that's such a, our Pawnee Scouts are so like revered, right? And really, really just important figures within our tribe and who we are, and within my own family personally. So it was just incredible to have that opportunity, and also just this real sense of deep responsibility and wanting to make sure that, production at Amazon got this right. And that, we really did right by this character and had the opportunity to really flesh him out even more. And I think that's what was so great, as we made the recommendations and helped to recruit the Pawnee consulting team, who were really experts in Pawnee Scouts and all of our history, and and not only that history, but language and our culture and the clothes we wore and all of the things. And they did a phenomenal job. I can't say enough about them. And just for them, on behalf of our Pawnee Nation, to have that agency within the storytelling process is huge. I mean, it's so important. And I know from, IllumiNative's initial role to kind of come in and create that space and advocate for that team to come in, to when we handed the baton off to the Pawnee consulting team, and the amazing work they did over the last 2 years. I know everyone did it with such a deep sense of both responsibility, but also deep pride for our people.
One of the many intriguing things about this limited run series is Eli is a man in many ways caught between two worlds, and the series gives equal weight to both of those worlds. The scene where he's talking with the acquaintance about I had to leave the tribe to do this, and I may have taken part in, you know, attacking my own people.
Mhm. And I think it's, I mean, these are the complicated times, and I think that's what's the richness of storytelling, right? The complexity and not being afraid to kind of tackle, challenging topics or issues. And it was just such a time of upheaval and turmoil, I mean, the story really comes on the heel of the Pawnees removal from our traditional homelands and Nebraska and also Kansas, which was devastating for our people. By the time, at the turn of the century at 1900, there were less than 600 Pawnees left. And my great-great-grandfather was one of them. And we went from being upwards to more than 30,000, by some estimates, to less than 600 during this time period. And the upheaval to be moved from those traditional homelands in Nebraska, right, and to be dumped on a small postage stamp piece of land in Oklahoma, and what that did to our people, and the sickness and the heartbreak and the tumult and the way that it just kind of really ripped at the fabrics of our tribal nation, right? It just was such a really traumatic and hard period of time. And, and I get emotional to think, about being able to not only watch a story, to have my daughters and my nieces and my nephews and different, people to really be able to watch part of this story and the conversations that it's going to start. And the interest is about how much we want to learn more about our Pawnee history, and but also the admiration and resilience, despite nobody was perfect. Right. That despite all of that, we as Pawnee people, we are still here today and we are thriving. And it's a beautiful thing.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't wrap up with asking you to tell our readers who don't already know a little bit about IllumiNative.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Well, IllumiNative is a nonprofit organization. It's all Native American women led. And we're a racial and social justice organization, but we are founded on research that really shows that the majority of Americans in this country know little to nothing about us, and that in so many sectors of society, Native peoples today are very much invisible. And depending on where you live, some people aren't even sure if Native Americans exist. So we understand the importance that representation does matter. That's not just a slogan, right? It really does matter, because when people can really see Native peoples, not only about the true history, right? That's why this authentic, representation that we see, in shows like The English, right? Because Native peoples, Pawnee people were involved in this, is so important, but also to see who we are today as Native peoples and that we are thriving and very much still here. So IllumiNative's mission is really to look at how we can amplify Native voices and stories and issues, and how we really fight to advance representation of Native peoples in all sectors of society. And we particularly focus on entertainment, media, and also politics as well. And so we just really encourage, folks to follow us, because we want to educate the American public about who we are today, and also really to address oftentimes what are like the false narratives, right, or the toxic stereotypes that are used to define Native peoples that are absolutely wrong and very harmful. And so we work really hard to educate the American public. And so we encourage people to follow us. You can find us at illuminative.org, but follow us on social media at IllumiNatives. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. But this is Native American Heritage Month. So this is, if there's ever a time, right? We ask people, because when we every day, go follow us on social media, we're posting book recommendations, music, TV and film shows, like really just educating people and calling them in and really inviting people to learn more about who Native peoples are today, how diverse we are, and how many great things we have going on. And also the very serious issues that we're still battling against, to seek justice for our people. So, but thank you so much for uplifting our work. And we're really, again, so excited about this project, The English, and really grateful to the production and to Amazon for really creating that space for Native peoples to be a part of all aspects of that storytelling process, and to really ensure that there was authentic and quality representation. So we really hope people enjoy it, and we look forward to even more shows and films that center Native people and creators.
Well, Crystal, thank you. You've been very generous with your time. It has been a pleasure speaking with you. So keep fighting the good fight. And in the meantime, the English, it's on Prime Video. And I've seen all the episodes, and I can tell you right now, it's terrific. So there's an unsolicited testimonial from me. So thanks again, and good luck to you.